What's up, poker players? Hope you guys are absolutely killing it out on the tables. Today we are going to take a look at some of the highlights from the 100K challenge so far. We've got the biggest hands that we're going to take a look at, the wins, the losses. We're going to get it all in. Let's jump into it. I'm using Hold'em Manager today to look at the biggest wins and losses from the 100K challenge. If you guys don't have Hold'em Manager, I highly suggest downloading it. The link is down in the video description. It's a great tool for reviewing your poker play as well as your live poker HUD on the tables. So in the sessions tab under the reports, I selected all the sessions, all the hands, and did a filter for biggest big blind hands, wins or losses. Luckily, most of the big hands that I've been in have been wins, all of them coming in June and July. Let's take a look at them. Biggest win so far the 100K challenge comes from this hand. I have 9-10 suited on the button. It folds around to me. I make a 3x raise into the blinds and get 3-bet by the small blind. The small blind plays a very polarized range. You can tell that he's doing that as well by the ace-3 in his hand. And we get a call from a non-regular player, pretty fishy VPIP, 34 pre-flop. He makes a call of the 3-bet with ace-jack suited. 9-10 suited is a great hand to play in position against both of these types of players, especially with the stacks being as deep as they are. And I wind up flopping a flush, and both the other players wind up flopping 2 pair. There's already 825 in the pot. The 3-better pre-flop comes out and bets over 2/3 of the pot to start it out, and we get a call from the big blind. I just make a call, not to give away the value of my hand yet, just hoping that the board does not pair. We get a deuce on the turn, which really helps me out. It does nothing for either of these players. There's now 26-25 in the pot. We are all pot committed at this point. We're going to try to get all the money in, and we don't even have to try because the small blind does it for us, and the big blind calls. I'm not getting rid of this hand. Make a call, and the river misses, thank God, and we pick up a huge pot right there. 277 big blinds. That's almost 3 buy-ins in one hand. Second biggest hand of the 100K challenge so far comes from this one. We have pocket 8s on the button. This is a 50 NL table, and we have a limp from just Norm in Under the Gun +1. We looked at this hand not too long ago as one of the plays that you really don't want to make with aces, which is the limp, unless you're against a player who is absolutely reckless pre-flop. So I make a call with 8s on the button, and we get 3-bet. It's pretty much a min 3-bet, and after the limp, I already know he's on aces, and I'm going to call just to crack the aces now. There's a 1 out of 7 chance that I hit an 8 on the flop, and it's only $3 for me to call. I've got huge implied odds on this one, especially when we get a call from a player to our right as well. And there is our 8, exactly what we were looking for. We have a 2/3 pot size bet into us and a call to our right. I just make a call here. There's now $46 in the pot. We're all pot committed, and we get pretty much a jam there and an all in from our player to our right. I'm not going to get rid of this hand. I do make a call, and the river misses all these players, and we pick up a very large pot right there of $175.60. I think that was the biggest pot so far of the 100K challenge monetarily. Next hand we're looking at is pocket 8s again. Done pretty well with pocket 8s so far. We're at a 5 NL table. Under the gun just limps. I limp as well. We get a raise to our left of 5x, a call behind him. We're getting great odds right here with such deep stacks. It's only 20 cents to call. I'm going to make this call with the 8s. Same type of situation as the last hand. We wind up flopping top set, and there's a bet into us. I'm not going to give away the value of my hand right now. I'm just going to make this call. Get a lot of calls. No one gets out of that pot. I don't think that card hurts my hand at all. I want as many players to stick around as possible, so I do a bet that's a little bit larger than half pot, and everyone calls again. Maybe I should have bet a little bit bigger on that one. There's now $11.59 in the pot. I only have $5.50 behind me. We're going to try to get it all in here on the river, although that card does kind of scare us a little bit. The flush draw could have gotten there. The aces makes a call, and we wind up picking up a very big pot right there. This hand was just in a video not too long ago. We can see that it was from the 28th of July. Here's another one in a recent video. We'll go through this one quickly. The fourth largest hand so far of the 100K challenge. We have an under the gun +1 raised to 3x. 2 calls behind him. I 3-bet to 85 cents with ace king in the cutoff. We get a call from the open raiser, flop top pair top kicker. I check back the flop not to give away the value of my hand. And we get a lead out bet of $2 and a call to our right. I'm just going to get it all in right here. Pretty much pot committed. We do get a call and wind up winning that pot. Alright, now we're at the 2NL table. Usually get a lot of fishy play at these very low limits. We have a limp in under the gun +1 and a raise to his left, our right, and I make a 3-bet to 28 cents here, and we get a raise jam all in. Another slow play with the queens. That is not what you want to do, and we get a call to his right. I'm feeling absolutely wonderful right now. All the money got in with hardly any work with the pocket aces. All we have to do is hit that call button now and try to avoid any of these players hitting their cards, which is what happens, and we wind up winning a 3-way all-in right there. That's a big one. Would have been bigger if it were at a higher limit, but I will take it. Now we are four-handed. We are at a 10NL table. I have pocket 10s. In the small blind, we have a limp in the cutoff. I make it 5x to go. The big blind calls with fishy numbers and a non-regular calls over here in the cutoff. We wind up flopping a full house, 10s over 8s. We can see that the fish to our left has flopped 3 of a kind. I just check back. He checks back as well. Slow playing here. No more slow play with the queen on the turn. I'm gonna bet 99 cents, and we get a call from the player to our left and a call from the cutoff as well. There's now 447 in the pot. I make it 339 to go, and we get raised by the player to our left, and now we know that we are good and we are going to try to get all of our money in right here. So I jam, and we do get a call and win a big pot right there with a full house 10s over 8s. Thank you for that river raise. That one really helped us out and gave us the opportunity to get our entire stack in the pot. Now we're going to take a look at the biggest loss so far. I have pocket 3s in the cutoff. We have 2 limps to our right. I just make a limp as well. We see a flop. We have bottom set. There's 4 players in this pot. There's only 9 cents so far. Thank God the biggest loss came on the lowest limit. You gotta love when that happens. So I make it 6 cents to go, which is 2/3 of the pot. We get a call from the big blind and one of the limpers as well. There's now 27 cents in the pot. Sheepdog leads out. Not gonna put him on a set of 10s very often here. We get a call to our right. I'm not gonna slow play this hand anymore, and I make it 4 times the original bet. 32 cents now. We just get a call from the small blind and the other player. There's now a $1.48 in the pot. We get a lead out with the pocket 10s here to 25 cents. Maybe I should have slowed down right here. This player has shown a little bit of aggression throughout this hand. It's a bit of a strange play with the set of 10s. I could have just made a call. There is a chance he was on a 6-4 straight draw or a 2-4 that hit the turn. I see kind of fishy numbers from this player and tight numbers to our right. This player only has 20 cents left, and I think we could still get value from a lot of hands like ace 10, ace 7, ace 5 that could be betting in this position. I don't think making just a call here is out of the question. I think that is probably a pretty good play. I can't argue with the raise I made either. I think we still get a lot of value from hands that could be betting 25 cents to lead out right there. It kind of looks like a blocker bet. But when he goes all in, then I know I am probably beat, but I can't fold my hand at this point. I'm pretty much pot committed. And you never know what players like this will jam all in with. You know, he could be doing it with 2 pair. So I unfortunately lose a big pot right there, but it was at a 2NL table, which is completely fine with me. I can lose $2.84 and still sleep at night. Let's take a look at a couple big wins with pocket aces now. We're at a 50NL table. I am pretty deep stacked with $100. We get a limp to our right. I make it 5x to go, and we get a call from the cutoff and a jam from the small blind. We get a call of the jam to our right, and I just make a call here. I probably could have gone all in and still gotten this player to call. We wind up flopping an ace right there, and the player to our right goes all in. He's got top pair, top kicker. That ace really helped our hand out. It provided the opportunity for him to go all in, and then for me to call. So I'm all in, he's all in. The only chance for us losing this hand is running queens. The 6 on the turn locks it up for us, and we pick up a huge one right there. Gotta love three-way all-ins with pocket aces. Oh, here's another one. This is actually the first cooler in the biggest hand so far. I guess the last one was kind of a cooler too against ace, king, and pocket queens. So I make it 15 cents to start out 3x. We're at a 5 NL table. It gets 3-bet to our left by a regular, pretty tight player. I know he has a pretty good hand. He has a 0% fold to 4-bet here. So I am going to 4-bet. I make it 85 cents to go, and he just makes a call. Flop is 10 high. There's $6 in the pot already. I just make a small bet to try to induce a call here. He jams all in. I'm not getting away from it with the aces. We wind up seeing kings. Perfect for us. Big pot being pushed our way. So what we can see so far from the biggest hands of the 100K challenge is that hands that were disguised pre-flop, like 9-10 suited, pocket eights twice, have been the biggest wins because players don't see those when you flop a 10 high board with a set of eights, or an 8 high board with a set of eights, or a flush in a pot that was 3-bet pre-flop and there's already an ace out there. How many combinations of 2 diamonds are going to see that flop? Not many. You're going to see your suited connectors, which is what I had. A lot of these hands are going to wind up being coolers where it's 2 or 3-way all-ins. We all have big hands. I just happen to have the biggest ones out of those, or the smallest one in the pocket threes bottom set against top set situation. I think I've been pretty lucky so far, or maybe I've made a couple good decisions to try to avoid situations where I'm getting it all in with the worst, but I've won 8 out of the 9 biggest hands so far, the 100K challenge. Knock on wood to keep that up. I'm sure I'm going to get some big losses here coming up, but I like how it's gone so far. Head down to the video description to pick up Hold'em Manager so you can review all of your poker sessions as well. If you do not have America's Card Room, click the link down below. Use promo code DKPoker. It's where I do all of my online poker play. Great site, highly suggest it. Click that subscribe button if you guys have not done that yet. Give the video a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll be back very soon with a new video. But until then, I'll see you guys out on the virtual felt.